All new tonight on Social Hour, a man on a mission, 50 dates in 50 states.
Oh, hey. Well, welcome to my home for the next 3 months.
When the pandemic hit and lockdown began, Matt Wernick had an idea to go on 50 virtual dates with women from across the nation in all 50 states.
Wouldn't it be sweet to know someone from every state? You could talk to them about the food and restaurants, the bars and nightlife, what they do for fun.
After COVID restrictions relaxed, Matt hit the road and decided to meet each of his dates in person with the goal of traveling to all 50 states, documenting each date, and gaining hundreds of thousands of followers along the way.
All right, well, woke up today in Montana. It's time for departure.
Matt says he knows that he may not find true love, but he's grateful for the experience and will have plenty of amazing memories. Matt Wernick, it's so great to speak to you today. 50 dates in 50 states. What gave you this idea?
Yeah, basically, back when COVID first hit and everyone was quarantined, I was basically bored. And I hopped on the dating app Tinder, and it said that you could place your location anywhere in the U.S. for free. And so I was in North Dakota at the time, and so I'm like, oh man, I got to go see where all the honeys are. So I start dropping my location in like New York and LA and Dallas, all the big areas. And once I started getting matches, I couldn't ask them to go to dinner. I couldn't ask them to have drinks. And so I basically thought, oh, since Zoom is on the rise and everything's turning virtual, what if I went on a virtual date with everybody? And that's how it kind of blossomed into what it is.
Okay, so it started virtual, but now you are actually going from state to state. Now, are these with the same women that you dated virtually, or is this like a whole new set?
Yeah, so after it gained traction online, that's when I decided to hit the road. And yeah, I'm going to meet all the ones that I went on a virtual date with. Now, some of them I have had to get new dates for because either dealing with things with COVID, or they've got boyfriends, or the dates have moved, or it's been bad timing, things like that. So there's a handful of new ones in the mix. But for the most part, it's all the same ones I went on a virtual date with.
Okay, so approximately how many dates have you been on so far? Because when we're recording this, it's going to air on a different date. So far, how many dates have you been on?
So far, I have been on 37 dates.
Wow, okay, 37 dates. All right, Matt, how many of those 37 were absolutely horrendous? Be honest.
I can honestly say that there has not been one that has been horrendous.
Okay.
Now, I can say that there's been some where, we don't connect as well, or maybe the chemistry's off, things like that. But there's never been really awkward moments or things like that. Like, they've all been just a lot of fun. But there hasn't been any that's been like, oh my gosh, get me out of here.
Okay, no, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So have there been any that you rescheduled that let's say you went on a virtual date with them and you were just like, yeah, this is not going to work? Or have you always, been like, okay, well, I'll at least try it in person?
So they're actually, wow, yeah, I feel like I'm spilling the beans here. There actually was one virtual date that I had gone on when I was going on all the virtual dates, that after I went on it, I decided, I was like, I don't know if I'd want to include that individual with this. And so I actually got a new individual for that.
Oh, all right. Well, Matt, I'm not going to put you on the spot. I will not ask you which state that was. But listen, Matt, you're on the prowl right now. You're a single guy ready to mingle. But has there yet been maybe a woman in a certain state that you've been like, you know what? I think I'm going to stop this whole 50 dates in 50 states thing, because I think she might be the one.
I can't say that there has been a girl that has really like stole my heart or anything like that. And I think it's because my mindset, like, I know that I'm on this date, but I have another date, in 2 days. So I just know that there's always like a next step in this whole journey. But I definitely haven't, caught any feelings or have been like, oh, she's the one.
Right. Well, listen, you're a young single guy. You've got to see what's out there. All right. Last question for you, Matt. What's next? I mean, what's next? Because at some point you're going to get to that 50th date, and then what?
Well, I've been doing a lot of thinking on that, and my followers have been asking me things like that. And I really think what I want to do is just try and develop it into a season 2 and basically do it all over again, but do it with either a new bachelor in place of me, and then I become more of like a host to it, or, maybe possibly I still do it, but then I bring someone along and we do double dates everywhere.
Oh, I like that idea. All
Yeah,
right, so we'll see
something
what.
like that.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. All I ask, Matt, is please do not be the man 30 years from now. I don't know how old you are, but don't be the man 30 years from now still trying to do this 50 days in 50 states, okay? Because it does have an expiration date, I feel like, all right? Promise me that.
100%.
All right.
I promise you.
No, Matt, this is awesome. I wish you the very best. Thank you for being a good sport. Thank you for talking to us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on.